Okay, we're recording. So welcome everybody to the call. My name is Eric Johnson. I'm the creator of Teamzy, and we're gonna have some fun tonight. A couple of things I'm sure a lot of you probably haven't even seen Teamzy yet. So what it is it's a software system that helps you do your business in less than an hour a day. Okay, it's super easy to use. You're gonna absolutely love it. Those of you who haven't used it yet, you'll be amazed. But what you need to know first is that Teamzy is not just a software, but it's an actual philosophy. It's an approach to doing this business. It's based on building relationships. And it's kind of the opposite of what most people are teaching in our industry. So what I want to do first is I'm going to show you Teamzy tonight. I'll show you how to set it up. It's easy. I'll show you how to do a power hour in 20 minutes where you can connect with 20 people a day easy using Teamzy. Stay on top of it. Follow up and they never fall through the cracks. So you'll love it. But first, I want to teach you about relationship marketing. Relationship marketing is the system Teamzy is based on. It's the philosophy, it's the heart of the program. So I'm going to take you through some training first on relationship marketing. Then I'll take you through Teamzy and show you the whole thing. At the end, we'll do a Q&A. If you guys hang in here till the end, I'll answer any question you have. So you just hang in there and we'll do that. But I just want you to know, I will keep you muted while I'm presenting. But if you like feel the spirit move you and want to say something or have to ask something right then, you can unmute and do that. That's fine. But for the most part, I'll keep you guys muted. Sound good? Okay, great. So first things first, let's talk about this, how to leverage relationship marketing to become a power hour boss. Okay, to become a power hour boss. A little bit about my backstory, just for those of you who don't know me, I know you know I'm the Teamzy guy. I come from a background of business coaching and consulting. I've been a professional coach helping people build their business for 15 years. I actually fell into network marketing by accident. It was a total accident, probably like a lot of you. I found some products that were really helpful. They changed my life, actually. And I was excited about the changes that I was seeing. And as I just naturally shared what I was doing, I realized there was a great opportunity. I had never really understood how this business worked, but as I really looked at the opportunity from the perspective of somebody who helps people build their business for a living, I saw amazing potential. So the first thing that I did was I went out looking for some systems or some tools to help me leverage my time. See, I only had an hour a day to build the business. Anybody relate to that? I had one extra hour a day and that was it. And so I knew from working with other business owners that there were tools out there, but I couldn't find anything for direct sales, at least nothing good. I couldn't find anything easy to use. I couldn't find anything simple. I couldn't find anything that did things that I needed it to do, which was basically set me up for success every day and just get me doing my income producing activities. And I certainly found absolutely nothing based on relationships. See, our industry is focused on this 1970s, find them, fleece them, forget them, go for no. It's a numbers game, turn over every rock till you find people that are interested type thing. And I have to tell you that when you're talking to somebody about it's a numbers game and they're talking to their friends and family and treating them like numbers, for me, it turns my stomach. I want to treat my friends and families like people I love. And so for me, it was all about relationship marketing. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of that as we go tonight, but you just need to understand it is a numbers game, but there's a right way to do this, a way that's more effective and that won't damage any of your personal relationships. And that's what I want to talk to you about tonight. So let's talk about relationship marketing. What is relationship marketing? A lot of people think this is just selling things to your friends, and that's not the case. Relationship marketing isn't just selling things to your friends. Relationship marketing is where your marketing strategy is building relationships, okay? And the first thing I want you guys to understand is that relationship marketing is a lead generation system. It's a lead generation system. That's a system that initiates consumer interest or inquiry into the products or services of a business. As a business owner, one of the first things you have to decide is what lead generation system will you employ to build your business? Okay, relationship marketing, in my opinion, just happens to be the most effective and most fun one. But I want you to understand this. No matter how busy you are in your business, no matter how many customers you created or how many new people you've recruited to your team today, if you're not doing work that will generate new leads, you're not actually building your business. You need to understand that you are in the lead generation business. That is the business you're in, is generating new leads. Make sense? Now, the cool thing about relationship marketing is that developing and deepening relationships is your paramount duty as a business owner. Developing and deepening relationships is your paramount duty as a business owner. This is one of the key principles. So you need to generate new leads so you can develop relationships with them. And it becomes very rewarding doing that. But why do we need to develop relationships? This is why. Because we turn relationships into advocates by investing time and providing outstanding service. We turn relationships into advocates by investing time and providing outstanding service. Just really quick, just want to give you guys a quick example on this. The traditional approach, you go through your list and you look for the yeses, right? And when people give you a no, you throw them over your shoulder like a dead body and move on, right? And a lot of times those relationships are damaged because they feel like, oh, that all they really wanted from me was a transaction. In relationship marketing, everybody that's a no is somebody we're investing in building a relationship and turning into advocates. When they talk to somebody who needs what you solve, they know, oh, I have a friend, you need to go talk to her. This is what happens. We create advocates. So instead of actually leaving people behind, everybody's on our team, the no's and the yeses. It's pretty awesome. When it starts clicking, it's so cool. Okay, let's keep going. Sorry, I don't want to get on too many tangents because I do have a lot to cover with you guys. Okay, so next principle, relationship marketing depends on trust. Relationship marketing depends on trust. In other words, if you're a jerk, this ain't gonna work. How many of you guys have come across somebody in this business, maybe not in your company, but somebody in this business who was less than trustworthy, who was doing shady things to build their business? You're not alone. In fact, most of the people you're talking to have had that experience too, which is why they're so guarded and skeptical, right, when you talk to them? Relationship marketing depends on trust, which means that we need to do everything we can to build trust, and we can never do anything disingenuous that can violate trust. Now, here's the cool thing. Trust makes the work fun. If somebody trusts you even just a little bit, you don't have to convince them. You don't have to sell them. You can get right to helping them, right? Also, trust takes away the ickiness. How many of you are paranoid like me of being thought of as the icky salesperson? Most of us, right? Some of you are so scared of being the icky salesperson, you want to raise your hand on that one. It's okay. Trust removes the ickiness from the sales process. Also, you get to go for yes. Instead of going for no, you're going for yes. You're going for yes all the time because you're building relationships. Okay, so how do you build trust? How do you build trust? I'm going to give you guys my 4 essential ingredients to building trust. Okay, first one is chemistry. I'll go through them quickly, then I'll explain them to you. Number 2 is character. Number 3 is competence. Okay, competence is number 3. Number 4 is consistency. Chemistry, character, competence, consistency. Let's break these out real quick. Chemistry. Chemistry is where you have common ground with someone. What is it about you they can relate to? Okay, chemistry is where you have common ground with someone. What is it about you they can relate to? Isn't it really hard to do business with someone you don't like? Would you guys say that's true? Yeah. In fact, there's a statistic, I think it's 87% of North Americans say they would prefer to do business with a friend. So there you go. It's hard to do business with someone you don't like. People prefer to do business with friends. Chemistry. Where do you have common ground with someone? What is it about you they can relate to? Number 2 is character. Character is when you demonstrate how much you care and that you're relatable. Okay, character is when you demonstrate how much you care and that you are relatable. Please notice, character is not something you have, it's something you do. Okay, character is not something you have, it's something you do. And a lot of times we think it's something that we own. We get all twisted and offended if somebody questions our character. And you just need to understand that your character is demonstrated by how you care for other people. Make sense? My wife always says, don't tell me, show me, right? Same thing. Number 3, competence. Competence is when you demonstrate you're good at what you do and you're a business person. Okay, competence is when you demonstrate that you are good at what you do and you're a business person. I need to know, can you help me? Do you know enough about your product to help me? Can you prescribe the right products for what I need? And then I need to know, on the next thing I need to know is, do I trust you to mentor me in this business? Should you be my sponsor? Okay. You need both. Now, anybody new? I guess everyone's kind of new, right? New folks. Has anyone ever told you when you're new, you should just fake it till you make it? Have you guys ever heard that before? Just fake it till you make it. that's a real common thing in our industry, and I just want to encourage you not to fake it. Please don't fake it, especially when you're trying to build trust. You need to be authentic. You need to be you. If you're new, you need to be new. Now, here's the good news. You don't have to fake it because you can lean into your team's competence. Lean into your team. I'm new, but I am part of, I'm one text message away from the expert. Let me ask this question for you. I'll get the answer for you. Okay? And when you're bringing somebody onto your team, you say, yes, I'm new, but I am part of the most dynamic team in this network. We're going to plug in together to the leadership and the training that's provided by our team. So don't fake competence. Lean into your team's competence when you're new. Teach your new people to lean into your competence as leader, okay, as you help them develop their competence. But chemistry, character, competence, the first three. Now, before I go into number 4, let me just share this principle. This is a universal principle that these come from. When someone's going to do business with you, they care about 3 things only. Can I trust you? Do you care about me? Are you good at what you do? Can I trust you? Do you care about me? Are you good at what you do? Notice what's in here is your product any good? Oh, I don't know about that ingredient. All the little objections that you get in your business are not really the reason they're objecting. Objections come from these 3 questions, okay? And these 3 questions are only answered when you build a relationship with somebody. So I want you guys to know, nobody's going to say these things. They're not even going to think them. They're going to feel them. These are more like emotions. But these emotions are settled when you build a relationship. So when you have an objection, just a little side note, yes, overcome the objection. Learn how to overcome the objection. If you don't know how to do that, lean into your leaders and learn how to overcome common objections. But keep investing in that relationship. Eventually, you want them to feel good about these 3 questions, and then you're solid with that relationship. Make sense? Number 4, consistency. Consistency. How many of you guys, when you hear the word consistency, are like, ooh, here we go? That's the way I feel about it. Consistency is hard, isn't it? Sometimes. Okay, here's a principle I want to share with you. People respect consistency and desire it for themselves. People respect consistency and desire it for themselves. Okay. This principle is paraphrased from one of my favorite books, which is by Robert Cialdini. I call him Bob, but I don't know him personally. Does anybody feel the need to call Roberts by the name Bob just because? I'm one of those people. Anyways, Robert Cialdini wrote this amazing book called Influence, The Psychology of Persuasion. I'm going to recommend it to you. Put it on your personal development reading list. It's a great book. Psychology of Persuasion, Influence. One of the chapters is about consistency. People respect consistency and desire it for themselves. This is what's so amazing. How many of you have kids? Kids, yeah. How important is being consistent to build trust with your kids? Pretty important, right? Yeah, it's huge. It's true with anybody. The truth is that nothing builds trust like being consistent. And what's amazing about it is how people respect it and desire it. The cool thing about it is not only do you build trust, but it draws people to you. They want to be part of what you're doing. They want to join your team. They want to be around your journey because they see what you're doing and it inspires them. Has anyone ever told you that you're inspiring to them? And you think, I'm inspiring to them? I mean, how many dumb things do we all do all the time? I have to tell you guys, I just got to tell you this little story. This is just an example of dumb stuff that we did. Hold on, I have to stop this share for a second. I had a big conference call this week on Monday with one of the top network marketing companies in the world about possibly partnering with Teamzy. Okay. And 5 minutes before, I'm moving and I noticed there was this big nail in the wall behind me and I thought, let me just pull that nail. So I went to pull it and it was tight. So I got the hammer and I went to pull it and popped myself in the face with a hammer. I can't even make this stuff up. I had a goose egg this big, and it was a Zoom conference call, right? I had a goose egg this big on my head. And I'm like, people are like, you're such an inspiration. I'm like, I just hit myself in the head with a hammer like the Three Stooges right here. How many of you guys do stupid stuff like that? But here's the thing. People are still inspired by you because of your consistency. Make sense? Your consistency, and it can be in small things. It's huge. It's huge. So let me just ask you really quick. How many of you are consistently a product of your product? You're using your products. You're living the lifestyle. You're showing that you're sharing your journey. Yeah. Social media sharing. You guys good on that? Who's consistent sharing their journey on social media? Great. The real question is this. The checkup from the neck up is this. Are you consistent with your relationships? Are you as consistent staying in touch with people as, for example, posting on social media every day? This is Zig Ziglar would call this the checkup from the neck up. If you guys don't know Zig Ziglar, you got to look him up. He's amazing. Here's the checkup from the neck up. Are you as consistent with your relationships? Okay. Here's the principle I want to share with you. People won't believe you till they see you. Now, I know you guys are new and you're just starting your journey, and it's awesome. It's so cool to be on the ground floor of something amazing. And people are watching you. In fact, a lot of people are watching you, and they watch you like a television show. You're like a TV show that they're watching on social media, right? Have you guys noticed if you get a really great post, a lot of people might comment or like it, but it's like what, 2%, 3% of your total following? What do you think the rest of the people are doing? They're watching. They're watching. The reason they're not engaging is this. They don't believe you. When you say, oh, join my team, join this journey with me, this is amazing, I want to mentor you, they don't believe you. Why don't they believe you? They haven't heard from you maybe since high school. They don't believe you're actually inviting them personally. They think what you're doing is cool, but they don't believe you. Relationship building is a contact sport. You have to be in contact with people, okay? In fact, I will tell you, to be successful in this business, you need to stay in contact with everybody you know. And I know your time is scarce. I'll show you how to really do it in less than an hour a day. But here's the principle. Investing time and connecting with people is the only way to deepen relationships. Okay, investing time and connecting with people is the only way to deepen relationships. Just really quick, I'm going to give you one example. We're almost there. I'm going to show you Teamzy in a second, okay? Real quick. If you don't have your cameras on, just turn them on for a second, because right now I'm actually looking at all your faces. How many of you have ever received a great card from somebody that you care about, and in the card there was a handwritten message that when you read it, you had an emotional impact on you? How many of you guys have? Cool. Let me go to the next page. I got 4 pages here of your faces. How many of you are married or have a significant other? Should be the same hands, or somebody's in trouble tonight. All right. You know what's amazing about something like that, a card like that, is not only does it have an emotional impact on us, but if you go read that card later, even years later, it'll still have the same or even more powerful emotional impact. Have you noticed that? How many of you guys, when you get a card like that, when you've read it, you just throw it away? Does anyone throw them away, or you all keep them somewhere? You have like a special place. Your spouse is like, can we get rid of these? And you're like, no, I can't get rid of them. Right? Or it's the opposite. I'm the baby in my family. I tell my wife, what are you doing? You have to save that forever. That's for me. Okay, so anyways, the other thing that's amazing about these cards is not only that, but when people pass away, those cards and letters that they received are the things that we keep the most and treasure. It's amazing. Now, second question. Have you ever received one of these? This is a happy birthday postcard from my life insurance salesman. You guys ever get these? Maybe from the dentist. My dog gets one from the vet once a year. This is a happy birthday postcard. When you guys get, how many of you get these and throw them away? Does anyone keep these in a special place with the other cards? No, no one keeps these. This has no value. What's the difference? This has no value because it required no time. It's meaningless. I guess it's kind of nice. And maybe he wants me to think about him. I don't know why, because life insurance, hopefully I'll never need him, right? Or I'll never need him. If we need him, my wife needs him. The point is that this doesn't mean anything because it took no time. Whereas if he had written me a letter or a card, that would have been an investment of time, and that would have had some meaning. Make sense? Investing time and connecting with someone is the only way to deepen a relationship. Now, do you need to write cards or letters or heartfelt messages to everybody in your business? No, absolutely not. But that should have its place, right? If you haven't been writing people cards occasionally, like your team members, your best customers, incorporate that in. It makes a difference, and they will save it forever, right? How cool is that? But even just investing a second to message somebody, Facebook Messenger, to text them, direct message them on Instagram, whatever you use, to just say hello one-on-one makes a huge difference. Investing that time in people will make their day. Okay, and I'm going to show you, as I show you Teamzy, how we start the process of building business with the make someone's day mindset. We look at how we can make people's day simply, easily, and efficiently in order to start conversations and create a relationship with them. Make sense? Okay, I've got, I think, one more screen here, and then we'll jump into Teamzy. So there's the principle. Investing time, connecting with people is the only way to deepen relationships. All right, so basically, you know, the philosophy, I know you guys like it, right? You need a system to implement this. You can't just do this business willy-nilly. You got to have a system, a way to stay in contact with all your relationships without taking, you know, a year to do it. Know when to contact them. In other words, who am I going to contact today? Who should I contact today? You should have a system so it's boom, I know exactly who I need to contact today and know what to say. How do I start this conversation? How do I make their day without spending all day staring at my screen trying to think of the perfect message? Anyone get stuck in that? Me all the time. And then make sure that nobody falls through the cracks. Can't let people fall through the cracks. That's the number one mistake people make. So many people fall through the cracks. Okay, you got to have a system that's watertight for that. Okay, let me show you that system. It's called Teamzy. I've got it right here. Teamzy dashboard. Here we go. And I'm super excited because we just launched. Do I say it right when I say Bellame? Is that right? Give me a thumbs up. Did I say it right? Bellame? Or is it Bellame or something cool like that? Is it Bellame? Bellame. Okay, I said it right. The Bellame version just launched a couple days ago, I think. Right? How many of you guys are on it? So are you guys on it already? A couple people on a free trial?
I think it just launched yesterday or day before yesterday, and so I don't think anybody's on it yet.
Cool. Well, I'm going to show it to you right now because I just created my account in it.
Awesome.
Okay. So first off, I want you guys to know this. Well, let me go in there and I'll show it to you while I'm talking about it. Here I am. I am in the Bellame Beauty perfectly tailored version just for you guys of Teamzy. First off, you guys need to know you can go to teamzy.com and get a free trial. You can get it free trial, the Bellame version, for 30 days free. We don't ask for your credit card or anything. Okay, it's completely free for 30 days. I want you guys to go in there and try it and love it and use it. Okay, that's enough time for you to generate business using Teamzy, and then you can subscribe and be part of our family forever. 30 days free, no credit card. Just go do it. You can't beat that. Now, here's the dashboard. I'm going to show it to you really quick. Then I'll show you how to set it up. All right, so what happens is we're going to set, right now they're all zeros, but we're going to go in a second and we're going to set goals based on an income goal. We're going to create an income goal, and then Teamzy is going to tell you how many prospects to connect with daily, how many customers to connect with daily, and how many partners to connect with daily. Okay? It's going to tell you how many people to invite to the business daily and how many new people to add to your list daily. This is your daily target. We're going to give it a 12-month goal, and it's going to tell us what to do each day to hit it. See, this is important because you can't control your year, but you can control your day. Does this make sense? And if you want to build a business big, you have to keep your focus small. Okay? If you want to build your business big, you got to keep your focus small. Okay. So down here is the power hour. This is where we're actually going to do a power hour, and it gives us our lists, tells us who's up next, and I'm going to show you guys how to do this. It's really easy, but basically it tells you who to connect with next, and then you come over here. This is where you log it as you go. It's all tracked as you go. Okay? Super easy. Now, what we're going to do is when you first come into your setup wizard, when you first come into your free trial, you'll be inside of our setup wizard, which helps you set this thing up. It's actually easy enough for me to use, which means most of you guys can do it. I'm so tech challenged, it's not even funny. That's why I had to build my own, because I couldn't figure anyone else's out, right? So I'm going to relaunch that setup wizard here from settings so you can see what it looks like. All right, that's me. All right, so what we're going to do in Setup Wizard is we're going to do three things. We're going to set your income goal, as I already mentioned. Teamzy will then suggest what to do daily to hit it. Then we'll help you create a powerful why. So important, guys, to your success, and I'll take a couple minutes to talk to you about that. Then we'll get all your contacts into Teamzy. One place, organized. So you're not looking for pads of paper that you left somewhere, sticky note systems, spreadsheets that you're not updating regularly. None of that stuff. It'll all be in one place. Teamzy lives in the cloud, so once you set it up, it's in your phone. It's everywhere you go. Okay? All right, let's get started. Step one, put an income goal in. This is your annual income, but where you want it to be 12 months from now. Make sense? So I'm going to put a number in. I'm going to put 150,000. Is that the right amount of zeros? 150,000. That's what I want to. 12 months from now, I'd like to be making $150,000 a year. Make sense? Okay, continue. Whatever your number is, put it in there. Continue. Teamzy is now telling me to hit this number, I need to connect with 4,348 people over the next 12 months. Is that a lot or a little? How many of you think that's a lot? Is that a lot? How many of you think that 150 grand in your first year is too ambitious? Let me just show you guys this, because remember how I said we keep our focus small? Once you know what you need to do, the next page breaks it down for us. I'm going to continue to it. It breaks it into my 3 groups, my prospects, my customers, and my partners. Okay, and then it breaks it down monthly, weekly, and daily. Now, Teamzy is actually giving me 30 minutes a day of action to hit that big number. How many of you think that sounds cool? Let me show you. It's suggesting that I connect with 9 prospects each day, not 99, 9's fine. 6 customers each day, and 4 partners on my team each day. That's 19 people. Honestly, I could do that in 20 minutes, easy in Teamzy. I'll show you in a second, okay? Now, if you're brand new and you don't have any partners on your team yet, what you can do is you can edit these numbers. You can take that 4, make it a 0 if you've got no partner, put it over here on the prospects, okay? Same thing if you've got no customers, you can make that 0 and you can make it just 19 prospects a day for now. And that will obviously change as you build your team. Make sense? I'm going to put it back the way it was though, because it's important. Even if you have no team, you need to start thinking of your business as if you have a huge team. You have to start treating your business like a multi-million-dollar business, even when you haven't made a dollar yet. That's how a business owner and an entrepreneur thinks. Then the next goal, so these goals, by the way, are connects. This is just connecting with somebody. It's not selling. It's not recruiting. It's not cold inviting them to something. It's not sending them a cheesy link and asking them to watch the video and give you their opinion. I read that book too, and it was written 25, 30 years ago, right? It's not doing any of that stuff that we hate it when people do to us. It's just connecting, making their day. It's just to make someone's day mindset, just getting them to smile, right? Hoping they'll respond so we can have a conversation. The next goal is invites. Now, invites are different. Invites are where we're inviting somebody to try a product, to come to an event, to learn about the business, to have coffee with us, to get on a virtual call or a 3-way call. An invite is when we've uncovered some interest. Now we are inviting them to something specific that will lead to a sale or a recruitment. Okay, so we connect with 19 people to start a conversation. Out of 19 conversations, we hope to get 3 invites. Okay, and then ads or new people we're adding to the list. Again, you can change all these numbers. These are just the suggestions of Teamzy based on my goal of $150,000 a year. When these are the way you want to go, click continue. And now the dashboard that we saw earlier with zeros will now be set up to these goals. And I'll show you that when we get there. Okay, one more thing, why power. Why power. You got to understand finding your why. Have you guys talked about this as a team, the whole finding your why concept? Have you guys dove into this a little bit, a few of you? How many of you, just by show of hands, have written a why statement down? A couple people? Awesome. How many of you who have written a why statement down have read it today? Okay, great. Lori Mueller is my star. You're the star tonight. Good for you. Okay, this is important, everyone. And the truth is you don't need to do the my why part to use Teamzy, but the reason why I'm going to talk to you about it for 5 minutes and why it's here in the Setup Wizard is it is absolutely essential to you being successful in this business. In our industry, 50% of people quit their first year. Did you guys know that? 50% quit their first year. Which means when you're setting a goal for building your team, you have to double your goal in order to have the team size you want at the end of the year. The reason, why do you suppose people quit in such high numbers? Do you think it's because the opportunity is not awesome or the products are no longer good? I'll tell you why. It's really simple, actually. People quit because we're quitters. We're just designed that way. That's what we do. When things are hard or boring, we quit. Unless we have a reason not to. This is why you hear people talk about their why, and it's like the buzzword. But the truth is you need this. Without this, you will quit. Okay? Now, a lot of people think you got to read 20 books and go off to these courses to find your why and do all this crazy stuff. You don't need to do that. It's actually really simple. My partners and I, we're personal growth junkies, and we have been through all those books and all those courses. The truth is we found it's really quite a simple process. We've built a process into Teamzy. There's 5 questions that you ask yourself just to get your mind working on this. You already know your why, but it's here in your heart, and you need to get it in front of your head. See, have you guys ever heard that term, follow your heart? How many of you guys think that's a cool thing, follow your heart? It's not possible to follow your heart because your brain is in control. You have to take what's in your heart and rewire your brain with it. Where you're at right now in your life is exactly where you're supposed to be. And it's exactly where you will remain until you change your development of your mind. Does this make sense? Because your mind has been designed to keep you safe and keep you in one place. So what we're going to do with your why is we're going to pull it out, we're going to get it in front of you, and it's going to be something that you're going to look at every day. In fact, it'll be on your dashboard of Teamzy. Every day when you log in, it'll be right in front of you. Okay, let me take you through the process really quick. I want to demystify this for you. People think you got to go like to a sweat lodge in Sedona to do this. There's 5 questions. I'm going to take you through my story as an example. Okay? And so you can just see how basic it was and how life-changing it was for me to go through this process. Why did you become a partner? Now, in my case, my background, I was a Beachbody coach. Have you guys ever heard of Beachbody? Probably a couple of you were Beachbody coaches. I was a Beachbody coach, and the reason why I signed up is because I lost 60 pounds doing their stuff, and everyone was asking me, dude, what'd you do? And I would tell them all day long, oh, I did Beachbody. My wife said, you should be a distributor. You could be getting paid for that. I said, okay, great, sign me up. What did you hope to accomplish? Question number 2. I wanted to make $500 a month extra money. That's it. $500 a month extra money. How many of you can relate to that goal? Anyone? Yeah, that's it. That'll be cool. Why is that important to you? Question number 3. Truth is I wanted to save the money. I wanted to put $500 a month in the bank. Anybody would like to save money? I got to tell you the story really quick. So I told you I come from the background of coaching people in their business, right? I specialized with real estate people. That's who I worked with the most, real estate people, which was great because that industry was always growing until the recession hit the end of 2008. Anyone remember that? Yeah, it was brutal. I lost my job along with half the country, and it was scary, you know, and I know it was scary for a lot of people. Now, we were blessed. We made it through that time intact without losing everything. But we did use our savings up really fast, and we were not able to save anymore. In fact, when I was looking at network marketing as an opportunity, it had been almost 7 years since I had been able to put any money in my savings account. It was empty. And we were just living paycheck to paycheck. I thought, wow, if I could do this on the side and put $500 a month in the bank, that would be great. Next question. What would achieving this mean for you and your family? What would achieving this mean for you and your family? When I thought about this question, here's what I wanted to do with the money. I wanted to buy a new home for us. I wanted to buy a new home. We'd outgrown our home. We have 4 kids. At the time, we have a dog. We had 2 dogs at that time, big dogs. We were on top of each other everywhere. And I dreamt of coming home and working from home and building my own business. But there was no place to work, not even the kitchen table in our house. So I thought, man, if I could buy a new house, that would be great. If I could save that money long enough, maybe we could buy a new home and I could move our family into that home. Do you see how in just 2 minutes I've gone from, I guess, sign me up to thinking about a new home? I'm starting to get really excited about my business. Next question. Why is that meaningful? How does this make you feel? Why is that meaningful? How does this make you feel? This one took me a few minutes to kind of get into. And here's what I found is when I'm put in these situations where I have to think deep on something, I hate them. How many of you guys are like me like that? I like personal growth, but I don't actually like doing the work because it makes you look at stuff that you've denied. It makes you look at things that you've pushed down. Now, in my case, I started thinking about buying a house. Is buying a house a meaningful goal? And here's what I realized. It wasn't the house that was the goal. The house was a symbol. The house symbolized my family. It symbolized my family. And the truth was, I wasn't part of my family. I wanted to be, but I wasn't. I was constantly working to provide for them, but I wasn't actually able to be with them. I was completely missing it. My kids were growing up and I was completely missing the whole thing. I'd get up in the morning and I would go to work. My kids were still in their pajamas. I'd kiss them goodbye. I'd go to work all day. I was really good at my job, felt great about it. I was respected. I'd come home in the evening, my kids were in their pajamas again. The only reason I knew they weren't in them all day is my wife put them in fresh pajamas. And it started breaking my heart when my son, who at the time was in kindergarten, was not calling me daddy. He would call me the name of his teacher's name, or he would call me grandma, or he'd call me mom, and he would correct himself and say, I mean daddy. And I realized that I wasn't around enough for that name to even be one of his top 3. And I couldn't figure out how to change it. Here I was working, making good money. We still were living paycheck to paycheck. I couldn't figure out what I could do differently to change the situation so that I wouldn't have to keep working for the money and I could actually be with my kids. And something happened going through this process and really understanding that it wasn't the house that I needed, but it was a new life with my family. I had kind of one of those aha moments, right? Where the light switch goes off. And I wrote my first why statement. And I'm going to read it to you right now. Just as an example, this was just my why statement, but it's just to show you how powerful this is, okay? This was my why statement. I wrote it, by the way, this was less than 3 years ago. It feels like 100 years ago. My why, to create a life where I never have to worry about money again. I enjoy quality time with my family and I'm present for my children on a daily basis. I'm healthy and full of energy. Man, I wrote this down. I just want you to know, first of all, whatever you write in this box, that sample text is my why, it's a sample. When you write yours over the top of it and hit continue, it'll save that to your dashboard of Teamzy, okay? So it'll be there on Teamzy. But I have to tell you guys, when I wrote this down, it changed everything for me. I went from a hobbyist, looking at it as a side hustle, looking at it as extra money, to becoming a business builder, like that. It was mental. What was the difference? Now I knew what I was working for. And I saw that the potential of my business was much better than the potential of my job. Anybody relate? And I started thinking about my job. I was making $150,000 a year at my job. That's why that was my goal for my first year in network marketing. I looked at that as extra money. They're going to give me extra money to build my network marketing business. How many of you have a job? Start thinking of your job as extra money, not your business as extra money. It's a mind shift. Now I'd look at that why statement and how many of you, let's just be honest. Some days you don't feel like doing it, right? You don't feel like reaching out and connecting with people. Anybody ever feel that way? Now you got to look at your why and be convicted by it. Oh, I don't feel like it today. First of all, I'm going to show you in 2 minutes how easy it is with Teamzy. So assume it's very easy to reach out to people. You still won't feel like doing it. And you have to say to yourself, no, I want to stay stuck in my current situation. I don't want to, in my case, never be worried about money again. I want to be stressed about losing my job. I don't want to be with my kids. I'd rather miss their growing up. It's so hard to procrastinate away your business when you understand the stakes. This is why you got to go through the my why statement. Does this make sense? And if you skip this part, you'll probably quit. And when people come onto your team, walk them through this, help them through this, or they'll probably quit. Does this make sense? Everything's at stake. Now, I just want you guys to understand what happened. Within 90 days of writing this down, I left my job, I came home to build my business full time. Now, what's cool about this is I had nowhere to work. Remember I told you our house was tiny? I went to Home Depot and I bought, on a credit card, I bought a shed. You know the kind of sheds you put your lawnmower in the backyard? How many of you have a shed in the backyard with a lawnmower in it? I bought one of those. I had it dropped in my backyard on the dirt. I ran an extension cord out to it and I turned it into an office. We called it my shed quarters. Look at this. I have a picture of it. I just found this the other day. Here it is. It's coming. I hit share. I'm just waiting for Zoom to catch up with me. There we go. This is me in my shoffice. And in the back on that homemade whiteboard, because I had no money, you can see a concept for something called Teamzy on the back. How cool is that? It's just a couple years ago. My point is once the why was clear, I did whatever it took to make it happen. Okay? Maybe some of you guys need a shed. It's all good. Okay. let's jump in real quick. And over time, by the way, I made that shed pretty nice. I put drywall in it and stuff, and I got it nice over time, little by little. All right. Then we sold the house, and somebody else probably put a lawnmower in it. Where did my Teamzy go? I got too many windows open. Here it is. All right, last step for setting up Teamzy, you're gonna get all your contacts into Teamzy, okay? So if you've already got a team, you wanna get your team in first. So you figure out how to get an export from your back office and get it into Teamzy, okay? And if you've got customers, get your customer list in second. So your team first, then your customer list. Then what's really cool, and I don't know if you guys know this, but you can get your whole Facebook friends list out of Facebook. You can import it into Teamzy. So they're all in Teamzy, right? So you definitely want to do that. And then anywhere else you have contacts, you just put everybody into Teamzy. So it's in one place, okay, organized. Make sense? All right. So let me get out of this and I'll just show you real quick. The last step, so once you get all those people imported, the last step is before we can crush power hours, you've got to actually rank your relationships, okay? Rank them. How many of you are used to ranking things or rating things on Netflix, Amazon, whatever, 5 stars, Yelp, right? We know how to rate everything on 5 stars. 5 stars is awesome, 1 star is not awesome, right? Okay. So what we do that with our people. Let me show you how that works. I'm gonna go over to the team page. So on my left navigation, we're on the dashboard now. I'm gonna go to the team page. The team page is your CRM. This is like your electronic Rolodex. It's all your people are in one place here on the team page, right? We call it the team page because just conceptually, your team is here, your customers are here. Your customers, by the way, are part of your team. They support your business, right? And everyone else you know is part of your team. Why? Because we're building advocates out of them. So they're all here on the team page. Make sense? So as we're going in here, we're going to do one last step, and that's to rate these people on a 5-star scale. If you do a bulk import, it'll automatically bring you here, but you can go there to this little menu and turn it on rank mode anytime. Okay. Hold on, I gotta get some water out of this. Here's what we do. You just jam down your list, and if you want to rate somebody up to 4, you just click on them. Simple, right? If you want to rate them down to 2, you click them down. If you want to delete them, you hit the trash can. Now, a couple things here. Everyone's going to start out as a 3-star by default, which means you don't actually have to rate everybody. You just got to really look for your 4 and 5-star people. Why is this so important? This is an important principle, guys, you need to understand. In relationship marketing, you should talk more often to your best people. You should be in touch with people more often that are your best relationships or your best prospects or your best customers or best team members. Why? 80% of your business will come from 20% of your relationships. Okay? This is true in any business. 80% of your business will come from 20% of your relationships. Those of you guys who are really well connected, you've got thousands of friends, you need to make sure you know who your top 20% are, or at least have a guess at it, so you can be in touch with them more often. Does this make sense? So we're going to go down the list and look for your 4s and 5s. Here's what the definitions are. 5 stars, somebody most likely to become a customer or partner, or they're an existing customer or partner that's a rock star, or they're your best friends, they're your mom, right? Hopefully. They're the people you want to talk to the most. They come up on your list every 30 days. Every 30 days. You're not going to have a lot of 5 stars, let's be honest. For you to connect with somebody every 30 days, you got to be pretty close. 4 stars, this is someone likely to become a customer or partner with a little bit of nurturing, or they're an existing customer or partner who's a consistent performer. They're your warm relationships. They're your friends. They'll show up every 60 days, okay, every 60 days. 3 stars could go either way, so they show up every 90 days, okay? They go up, most of your people on your list will be 3 stars. You'll talk to them every 90 days. 2 stars are getting colder every 120 days. Does this make sense? The more stars, the more often. Got it? Okay. Now that we've done that, and you've got it good to go, you don't have to save or anything, auto saves. Go back to the dashboard. Now we're ready to do Teamzy. We're ready to do our power hour. Now, what's cool about this is this. Once you've set this up, you never have to do any setting up or planning ever again, ever. How many of you do power hours now? Anyone? It takes a lot of planning. It takes a lot of planning to do a power hour right. You never have to plan this ever again.
Wow.
You never have to plan this ever again. So let me show you how to do this. Notice I've got my goals up here now that we set. 9 prospects, 6 customers, 4 partners. I'm going to go into this Power Hour box right in the center of the screen. The left side gives me my 3 lists: prospects, customers, partners, and my 4th list is follow-ups, okay? Each list gives me 5 names. That's to keep me organized, keep me focused so I can't skip around, and it also keeps me from getting overwhelmed. The right-hand side is where I log the work as I go. First person on my list is Jay. I've got Facebook open right here because I'm going to message her on Facebook, okay? All right, we'll do that in a second. But first, this is what happens is you see the name and you go, okay, what the heck do I say to Jay? How many of you get stuck with that? How do I start this conversation? So I'm going to go to scripts. You see right there where it says scripts? I've put all my best icebreakers in here, the ones that work. And the key to a good make someone stay icebreaker is short and sweet and don't overthink. Okay? So I'm going to grab a Facebook script. And I'm just going to grab connect number 1, which is, hi, Jane, just stopping by to say hello. How are you? I hope your day is awesome. As simple as that is, this one works unbelievably well. So I clicked on copy script. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to paste it in real quick so that I can modify this a little bit. First of all, the name's not right. I got to change the name. You know, maybe there's some words that don't sound like you. I got to put an emoticon in. Who's addicted to emoticons? Let me see, anyone? I am. I always put an emoticon in. Look, now I've got it just the way I want it. Now what I'm going to do is now I'm going to actually send it. I'm going to copy this and paste it into Facebook. Yes, you got to actually send it from Facebook because Facebook doesn't allow other apps to send for it. Look up Jay. There she is. Just look her up. Only takes a second. You see, it's really fast still. Send message. Paste that in there. Hi, Jay, just stopping by to say hello. How are you? Hope your day's awesome. By the way, you can do this on your mobile phone too. There's a mobile version of this website. It's super easy to do. So if you're not at your home, you do this on your phone. All right, so let me send this. Send. I just want to make her day. I just want her to smile. That's it. When she responds, we get to have a conversation. How cool is that? All right, so select activity. That was a Facebook message. Log connect, that big blue button. Boom, it's done. Look at this. 1 on the board, done. Okay. Next person up is AJ. Look what I'm going to do. I'm going to use the same script. I'm going to change the name. How easy is this? AJ, I don't even know if we're friends yet. Let me look you up. I don't think so. I think you emailed my team. That's how we got in. We got together. Is this you? Wow, look at that. There's a bunch of AJ Yates. Who would have thunk it? Okay, we're going to add friend. Send message. You're going to want to be my friend after this. Boom, send. Message sent to AJ. Okay, now check it out. We'll go back over here to Teamzy and we'll log it. Facebook message, log connect. Now I've got 2 done. I'm going to go to Maynard the same way. I'm just going to work my way down this list and I'm going to send out these messages. They're like little love letters. Send them out. Be disciplined. Some people will respond right away and you'll want to have the conversation. Don't stop to have conversations with them until you're done sending out all your messages, okay? It's only going to take us 20 minutes or so to do all of them. So I'm going to keep going down my prospects list until I get to my goal, which was 9. And when I get there, that circle will be all the way blue. I'll know I'm done. Then I'll go to my customers list. I'll start connecting with customers. Okay? Gail's the first one on my list. Again, I'll go to my scripts to get an idea of what I can send to her so I don't get stuck in analysis paralysis. How about this one? Hi, John. How are you enjoying the products? Please send me an update. Let me know how I can be of help. Okay, I can copy that script. I can paste it in there, change the name. Obviously, the name's Gail. Can't I'll spell it right. Boom. How are you enjoying, right? Your newly hydrated, lovely face. I don't know. You get the idea, right? Just having fun with it. Great. Ready to go. Again, I'll copy it. I'll go to Facebook. I'll send it. You can text it, whatever. Look, I like Facebook Messenger best for messages because it has the best response rate, better than anything else right now. But again, if you're only talking to people on Instagram or something, you can instant message them on Instagram. That's fine. But definitely messages are the way to go because the great thing about a message is even if they don't have time to respond, they almost always see it on their phone, on their screen, right? I'm going to keep going down my list. I mean, there's some other great scripts here for customers, you know, things that asking them for recommendations, cool stuff, right? So you're going to go down your customer list. The goal was 6. I'm going to message 6 customers. Now, this is really important. I want you guys to know this really quick without going off on too much of a tangent, because I could do an hour just on customers. But reaching out to customers is as important as prospects. And a lot of times what happens, we get busy and we get focused on prospecting and we forget about our customers, but you need to be in regular contact with customers. Okay, 3 quick reasons why. Number 1, that's just good service. How many of you want to have good service in your business? You don't need to be messaging them for a reason like, oh, we're having a sale. I mean, you can, but that's not the reason. You're just reaching out to stay in touch. How are you? I was thinking about you. Do you need anything? You know, okay? Just staying in touch with customers. The second reason is when you are in regular contact with customers, guys, this is a statistic fact. Statistical fact. English teachers, I know there's a couple of school teachers on here. Statistical fact. Thank you. My mom was an English teacher. I could feel her cringe across the state. If you're in contact with your customers, they order more products, period. Not because you're saying, do you want to order more products? Just because you're saying, hey girl, what's up? How are you? I wouldn't say that to you, but I'm saying most of you are women, you might say that. The point is staying in contact, they order more products. Leaders, if your team, for example, we've seen this time and time again, where a leader, like AJ brings her team into a training like this, everyone gets on a free trial. And boom, team volume goes up 30%. Wow, what happened? Everyone's in touch with their customers. That's what happened. Okay? How many of you want people to order more stuff? Stay in contact. Also, the other half of that is they will retain longer on their monthly automatic reorder stuff. Okay, they'll retain longer. Now, third reason is this. Who out there, how many of you have a customer, at least one right now, that's loving what they're getting? Anyone? A couple of people? Great. Would you like new ones? Who wants new customers? Do you know right now, where can you go right now to find a new customer? Do you guys know? The absolute best place to find a new customer is from your current customer. I know this, you guys are going, this makes sense, but you need to understand this. This is a key part of your business. Your current customer is the best source of a new customer. Think about it. What happens when you love a product? What do? Talk about it, right? You talk about it, which means that your customer, think about this right now, your customer who loves the product has already been talking about it with other people. There are people right now that are ready to purchase from you. Some of them will already find it on the web and purchase it from someone else because they don't know about the relationship. They've just been hearing how awesome the products are. You need to be in touch with your customers and get introduced to the people they're talking to. Make sense? When your friend says, yeah, I've been talking to 3 people at work, they're actually all really interested. Guess what? You just got yourself a new partner too, right? Well, you already have 3 friends interested, and let's get you signed on as a partner. Are you guys tracking with me? You got to be in touch with your customers. That's why we put such an importance on it in Teamzy. We make it so easy for you. Make sense? By the way, little statistic, I think it's 85% of people prefer to make purchases after the recommendation of a friend. Is that true for you guys? Do you ask your friends their opinion before you buy stuff? So friends are telling people that they should try your product. That means they're really motivated. You got to get in touch with those people. Next, your team. The next list is your team. That's why it's called Teamzy. We could have named this Leadsy or something cheesy like that, but the truth is it's about building a team. And I like to say it's about building family. As your team grows, most people believe it will be harder and harder to stay in touch with them as they grow. But with Teamzy, you'll be able to do it. The thing is having a Facebook group is great. Doing live Zoom trainings for your team is great. But they need a personal relationship with you. And that's why you just need to reach out to them through something like Teamzy. So we're going to go down our partners list. And our goal is 4. So the first 4 people are just going to get a personal message from you today. Boom. Is there anything I can do to make your day? How are you today? Okay, just quick messages. And then when you're done with that, all your circles will be solid, and you'll be done with your major part of your power hour, half of your power hour. In this case, it was 19 people. Once you get used to the Teamzy flow, it'll take you 20 minutes to do that. Make sense? Now we're going to go to our follow-ups list and work our follow-ups list. But wait, there's nobody on my follow-ups list. The follow-ups list is separate from the up next connect list, okay? The follow-ups list is where we put people who are really interested in our product or our business, and we've invited to something, okay? So through those conversations that you're generating with people, you're gonna uncover interest. You're gonna be talking to them, just talking to them. When they respond to you and you start messaging back and forth and having a conversation, your goal is to ask them questions and find out what's going on with them and find some way you can help. Find some way you can help. It may not have anything to do with your business. Just find some way you can help, invest in that relationship. And as you're talking to them, you tell them what you're doing, tell them what's going on with you, and you'll start to understand and uncover whether they're interested in learning more. Those people you invite. You'll get the same amount of people right away that you would doing it, let's say a Go for No campaign, except they're going to be building trust instead of skepticism. And all the people who aren't interested right now are still excited about the fact that they're talking to you and they're interested in what you're doing and they're happy for you and what you're doing, and down the road will develop more interest. Does this make sense? So for example, I messaged AJ. Hey AJ, how you doing? I hope your day's awesome. And she responds, oh my gosh, thanks for reaching out. That was so nice of you. How have you been? It's been forever. Great. And so now I'm messaging back and forth. Well, I know it has been forever. And I just saw you across my Facebook feed. Thought I'd say hi, whatever, we're talking. So what have you been up to, AJ? And she tells me, oh, I'm doing this, that, we're just having a conversation. Right. And she says, well, what about you? And I say, well, I don't know if you know this, but I left my job almost 3 years ago now. I've been home now. I have a home-based business now, which has been amazing. And it's been awesome. I've been able to triple my salary and be with my kids. It's just been unbelievable. She's like, oh, that's so awesome. That's great. And so in just the conversation, I will share what I'm doing. I found these products that are amazing. They really help people. They help their skin. They help their whole sense of being. And I've become really passionate about helping people with it. If you know anybody who's looking for help with that, I want you to know that I'm here. I'd be happy to help them. That's my mission, is to help people like that. And she's like, wow, I might actually need something like that. I don't know. This is just an example of a conversation. Does this make sense? Well, if you'd like to learn more about it, we have a virtual event tonight. Are you going to be around tonight? Yeah, I am. Great. I'll send you a link and you can check it out. Tell me what you think. Okay, great. So now I'm going to send her an invite to something. Does this make sense? Because she's shown me some interest. So how am I going to do that in Teamzy? So I'm on my dashboard, right? But AJ's not there anymore. So I got to look her up. See the lookup bar up here? I'm just going to look her up. There she is. Okay. I'm going to open up this big connect box, and now I'm going to log in here. Then I'm sending her an invite. See where it says invite, bottom left? And let's say it's a virtual event I'm sending her to. Great. Okay. Now it's automatically put her on my follow-ups list. That's a fail-safe, but I'm going to follow up with her tomorrow. I'm going to change that date and change it to whatever you want. Okay. So now it's set for tomorrow. And you can put notes in here, whatever. Invite to virtual. Okay. Log connect. Now check it out. Now put a follow-up on her record. See that? She's on my follow-ups list. Now, when I go to my dashboard, there she is on follow-ups. Okay? And you can also see I logged an invite through that process. So tomorrow, when I do my power hour, I'm going to do the same thing I just showed you. I'll message my prospects. I'll message my customers. I'll message my partners. And then I'm going to go see who I've put on my follow-ups list. My goal is that every day I generate a few invites. People who are interested, I invite them to something relevant to what they're interested in, and then I put them on my follow-ups list where I will follow up with them. Does this make sense? So my follow-ups list are my hot, interested people, and these lists are the people that I'm just staying in touch with, keeping contact with. Couple little notes on Power Hour. Don't worry about the people who don't respond. Completely forget about them. Okay, they're going to come back automatically on your Teamzy list based on their star rating. 30, 60, 90 days, whatever. Focus on the people who do respond. Okay? The conversations that fizzle out and go nowhere, don't worry about them. Don't put them on your follow-ups list. They'll come back automatically on Teamzy. Put people on your follow-ups list who are interested. Okay? So now the second half of my power hour is working my follow-ups list. I'm going to follow up with AJ. Now, what's really cool about this is you can go to scripts again. I've put my 10 refined follow-ups that I've worked over the years to perfect in here for you for free. So you can just go in and use them. They're numbered. Follow-up number 1. Hi, Jane, just checking in like I promised I would. What questions do you have for me? Okay, so let me show you how to do this. I'll do it exactly the same way. I'll copy that script, paste it in here, change the name, okay? Modify it any way you want, but don't over modify it because that's overthinking and you might mess it up. Every one of these is built with specific psychology. I'm gonna copy that, boom. Now watch, I'm just gonna go back to Facebook. Oh, she's still there, which is great. AJ, you haven't accepted my friend request yet. What's going on?
Actually, I responded already.
Oh, you did. My page just doesn't refresh. Okay. All right, here we go. I'm sending this. This is my follow-up message. Great. Now, when I get back over here, unlog this. Now, check this out, though. Before I log this, I want to set my next follow-up. Keep her on my follow-ups list. So I'm going to, let's say in 2 days, I'll follow up again. Okay, so I log that connect. Now she's back on my follow-ups list for Friday. This is really important, and I know I've been talking a long time. Thank you guys for hanging in with me so long, but this is important. The fortunes in the follow-up, how many of you agree with that? I'm going to tell you a statistic that might blow your mind. It's this. 80% of all sales happen between the 7th and 10th follow-ups. Have you guys heard that before? Write it down. 80% of all sales happen between the 7th and 10th follow-up. Which means you need to be following up 7 to 10 times. All right, how many of you follow up 10 times now on someone who's interested? Anyone? It's okay, usually I say we've got 90 people on the call still. I might get 2 hands. That's okay. I know there's 2 reasons why you're not doing it. First of all, you don't have Teamzy yet, so following up 10 times might take 2 months and they will definitely fall through the cracks before you get to 10, true? But I think the real reason is this. Most of you are afraid of being annoying. How many of you guys just don't want to be that annoying? You don't want to be that person. That's what it is. Yeah. Okay. So real quick, I'm going to teach you right now how to do it without being annoying. Who's in? Good. The relationship way. But first, I want you to have a mindset shift. Just by show of hands, how many of you are really here because you feel like you can help people change their lives for the better? Good. You're my people. Those of you who didn't raise your hand, but you feel it in your heart, you're still my people. Those of you who don't believe that, you're not my people. You can close your ears. You don't need to learn this stuff. You got to have the right heart to do this stuff. Here's the thing. You cannot help them. You cannot change their life until they've bought the product. True? And if we know that 80% of them will not purchase the product until you followed up 7 to 10 times, then you have to understand that if you really want to help people, the only thing you can do is follow up more. Make sense? So first you need to shift your heart and just understand, I don't follow up to be annoying or to get something for myself. I follow up to help other people. Okay? That's the first shift. And once you understand that I follow up to help other people, not to get something, then you can understand this concept. Following up is an act of love. Following up is an act of love. If you want to help people change their lives, you love them enough to keep following up. Now, if I had more time, I would go deep into this. But you guys need to understand, well, on the flip side of that, not following up. Following up, like most people follow up 3 times, right? And they get no response, nothing but crickets. And they say, forget you, I'm moving on. True? When you do that, this is what you communicate. I don't care enough about you to keep following up. I don't care enough about you to keep following up. And when they suspected you just wanted the sale, now they know it's true. Now, I know that's not fair because in your mind, you've justified this action by creating stories of why they're not responding. She's not responding because she doesn't respect my time. She wasn't interested to get-go. She has no money. It's too expensive for her. That's the issue. Oh, I think the issue is her husband. He's overbearing. He put the kibosh on it or whatever. There's a hurricane bearing down on their home right now, so they can't do it. This is all stuff you've made up. Did they tell you that? This is fiction that we're creating. Here's what I want you guys to understand. Most people who are interested, who respect and like you, who are very interested in what you're doing, will not respond to the first 5 or 6 follow-ups. Crickets is all you'll get back. Crickets. You're not doing anything wrong. This is the way human beings are wired. Okay? So you have to keep following up. So now that you understand following up is an act of love, let me teach you how to do it and not be annoying. People will respond on the fifth or sixth message and thank you profusely for being so awesome. I can't even tell you how many messages I got with those words. You are so awesome. How many of you would like that text after following up 6 times with somebody? It's going to happen. Here are the rules. Number 1, never ask someone to do anything in your follow-up. Don't ask them to call you back. Don't ask them to text you back. Don't ask them to RSVP for your event that you really want them to RSVP for. Don't ask them to complete the purchase that they started and never did. Okay? Don't ask them to do anything. Got it? Because that's annoying. It's hard enough for me to respond. Now I got to do homework? No. Number 2, your follow-ups should always be messaged. Facebook Messenger is my favorite. Text message is good too, but it has to be something that is short and sweet that they can see on their phone, just like, oh wait, hold on a second. Once unlocked. Just like this, you want them to see the lock screen notification of your message. Does this make sense? It has to be short enough that they can read the whole thing on the screen without opening it. If you have a ... at the end, it was too long, and now I'm annoyed because I have to open the message to read the rest of it. Why is that annoying? How many of you will not open a message when you're not able to respond to it? We all do it, and there's good reasons why you can't respond to it, right? You're driving, you shouldn't have picked up your phone anyways. Your kids are climbing all over you. Whatever, right? I always say the baby just threw up on the dog. Like you have stuff to do. You can't do it right now. Don't put them in that situation. Let them see it. Now, and here's what I want you guys to know. They will always, especially if you use Facebook or text, they will always see it. They may not respond, but they always see it. And that's all you need is for them to see it. Are you guys with me? And what happens is every few days they get these great messages. By the way, all 10 of my scripts are built in with these principles built in for you. So when I go back to follow up with AJ in a couple days, I'm going to go in here. Is this easy or what? I mean, let's be honest, guys. I'm going to go into scripts. I'm going to get follow-up number 2. Hi, Jane, just making sure you got my message and checking in to see if you have any questions. Oh, send. A couple days later, I'll send her the next one. Hi, Jane, I'm excited about the goals we discussed. Can't wait to get started. Okay. A couple days later. And there's no exact science to how many days later, okay? Just use your gut. Hi, Jane, just staying in touch so I can help you achieve your goals. Okay, next one. Hi, Jane, hope you're doing well. I'm here when you're ready. Okay, are you guys with me? You just keep sending the next one, setting the next follow-up. Keep them on that follow-ups list. Keep them on that follow-ups list until they convert, okay? Eventually, I'm going to go into the back office and I'm going to see, bam, she made her purchase. And this is how I finish her off in Teamzy. First, I log the sale, click on that sale button. I'm on her record, by the way, on the team page. You can look her up in the dashboard to get there. Starter kit. She got a starter kit. Great, saved. Now, Teamzy knows that I made a sale based on all that work. Member type, prospect, I'm going to switch her to partner, personally sponsored. Now she's on my team in the system. And I'm going to continue connecting with her and building that relationship with her, but she'll be on this list, the partners list. Does this make sense? Your power hour looks like this. Connect with prospects, connect with customers, connect with partners, then do your follow-ups. You do that every day, okay? Yes, you need to set some time aside in the day somewhere else to actually have all the conversations you've created. And some of you will be absolutely overwhelmed at first with how many people you're talking to, and you're welcome. You're welcome. All right, do you guys have any questions? This is where I'm gonna let you let's take a few minutes to do some questions. Just unmute and ask away and I'll be happy to answer anything. Oh, you guys have a lot in the chat. I'm just scanning it real quick.
I have a question. This is
this
Lori.
my star, Lori?
Yeah.
The star of the night? The teacher's pet? Go ahead.
I don't know about that. So I'm currently like adding a lot of new Facebook friends every day because I don't have a lot of friends on my page. So when I go through and add all these people, do I need to import them again through into Teamzy, or am I just going to manually add them somehow? Because I'm not really keeping track of all the people that I'm adding every day.
So what you do is you're going to do your bulk import, right? That brings in everybody you've got now.
Right.
As you add new people, the easiest way to do it is as you add somebody, and when you start using Teamzy, Lori, you're going to get addicted to getting all these circles filled in.
Okay.
One of them is ads. So the easiest way to add people is just to click this little person right here and add them.
Okay. So I'll basically just have to watch and see who accepts me and who
Yep.
doesn't. 'Cause sometimes they may not accept me right away. It might be like later in the day or.
What you can do too is, okay, so a couple things you can do is you can go to your Facebook page, go to friends,
Mm-hmm.
and you can go to recently added. Okay. And look at AJ's my new number one friend. You can go in here to recently added and make sure you got all these people in Teamzy.
Okay.
Now, if you get way behind and you're like, there's like 100 people, then you just do another bulk import. And Teamzy will only bring the new people in.
Okay.
Okay. But what you won't get is credit for ads on your dashboard. When you do bulk import, it doesn't give you credit for ads. So if you really want to get all those numbers to 100%, once you get into the game of doing it, it's like, oh my gosh, I got to get 100%. And I used to get to the point where I needed to add one person to get 100%. And I would be like, I have to meet somebody right now. I have to go in and friend somebody and add them to Teamzy. Luckily, I was, for the 2 years that I was a Beachbody coach, they gave me customers that came from the website every day. So I kind of cheated because I got at least 2 free people every day from them. So that kind of got me to my ads. But you get the idea. Like you want to get those numbers. So as you're meeting people on Facebook, add them to Teamzy, okay. And then you can send that initial message now. Like, hey, it's great to be, thanks for the ad. Great to be connected. I hope we can stay in touch, and log it in Teamzy. And that, that's kind of like, they weren't on your list, but now they'll cycle back in based on whatever rank you gave them.
Okay. Thank you.
So you don't even have to think about it. They'll come back up again in a month or 2 or whatever, and you can message them again.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question. So if someone just flat out says, I'm not interested, is there a waiting period that you would wait to reach back out to them? Or at that point, do you just leave them alone about it? Because I know sometimes, they might not be ready at that time, but they can always come back and then they'll be ready. But at what point do you leave somebody alone and stop annoying them?
Yeah, well, first of all, with me, it's like if someone said they're not interested, I'd say, no worries, that's cool. But let's say, I want you to know I'm here as a resource for you. If you ever have questions about anything to do with your skin or anything like that, I'm here for you. It's totally cool if you're not interested in the product right now. That's not as important to me as our friendship. Okay, then you keep them in your Teamzy cycle and just connect with them. The thing is this: it's about trust. It's about trust. Very many people, their first response is, I'm not interested, because they've been bombarded with offers and they don't trust, I'm walking around with my 8-year-old son. Is he 9? I know he's not, almost 9. I'm like, wait, did I miss it? Selling Cub Scout popcorn, and people are like, not interested. Like, he's an 8-year-old adorable kid. But that's just their knee-jerk reaction. So here's the thing. Again, you just have to rise above it and let them know, like, the $30 commission that I was about to make from this product is not going to change my life. But our friendship's important to me. That's what's important. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I just recently left another company and started with this one. So, if I'm reaching out again to, people that I've already reached out to before with my previous company, are they even going to take me seriously, that have a new product? That
they will probably be skeptical of you when you reach out to them. And so you have to understand that you have to rebuild the bridge and build a relationship with them. And what I would do is reach out to them and just say, like, hey, how are you? Hope you're having an awesome day. And if they're like, what are you doing? Go, I was just thinking about you today and just thought I'd say hi. No reason, and just start the relationship over. Does this make sense?
Yes.
If you did, okay, so I do this thing called Teamzy Bootcamp every quarter, and I know you guys are brand new, so you don't know anything about this stuff, but we bring leaders in for 12 weeks, into a private group and we work on stuff. One of the things that we do is we do an apology script, because a lot of times what we've done is we've blasted our friends with like a cold invite script that turns a lot of people off. And so we have kind of it's basically a message that's like, hey, I just wanted to reach out, Mary Catherine. You know, I was so excited about my new business. I may have come on a little bit strong. A couple of people have told me I might have come on a bit strong. And I just want you to know that wasn't my intention, and that our friendship is more important than anything. Whether you buy from me in my business is not as important as our friendship. You know, sending a message like that to somebody makes a big difference to them. And they go, thank you for sending that. No, it's totally fine. You didn't bother me. A lot of times a lot of times now it doesn't bother them when you say that, you know, I'm glad we're friends or whatever, and give them time to see what you're doing, you know, and just stay in contact, you know. And then when they say, well, what are you doing now? You can say, oh, I started a new company, blah, blah, blah. And it's not a threatening thing. You're just giving them information on what you're doing. And then over time, as you're connecting with people, they're going to be going on and watching you, and they're going to see your posts. They're going to see what you're doing. And so some of that conversation is happening. Does this make sense?
Yes.
But it helps you uncover the people who are interested right now the same way, but at the same time, you're cultivating everybody else. It's a lot more fun too. Hopefully.
Thank you. Yes.
Eric, I have 2 questions. The first one is, whenever I'm on Instagram, I like to take the link to it and put that in Teamzy or whatever I'm using.
Perfect.
So that I can click on it and go straight to Instagram, because it's harder on Instagram because there's so many people, your friends don't come up right away. So clicking on the link is the best method for me. So
Yes.
Can you show the best way to do that in Teamzy?
Yeah, absolutely. Let me show you real quick. It's really easy, guys. Where's Teamzy? Oh, it's right here on a different tab. Okay, so look, I'm on Lori's record right now. Okay. So if I have our Instagram link, I'm going to go right down here to Instagram and just paste it right here. I don't have it copied, but I would just paste it right there. Boom. And then when it's saved, then what'll happen is, let me just make up a fake one. Okay, you get the idea. So once I've put that in there, when she's on the dashboard, right, I can just look at details and see her Instagram link and click it. Okay, but that's who actually has that one. But so once it's saved in there, then you can just jump. The same thing for Facebook. In fact, if you think about it as you're adding people and put their link in, that will save you a few keystrokes every time, if that makes sense. And then if they're generic, like Eric Johnson, it'll get you the right one faster. But hey, there's 5 AJ Yates, so I don't feel so bad about how many Eric Johnsons there are now.
Well, that started because my maiden name is Ashley Jones, and there's about 5 million of those. So
I bet, yeah.
That's how that started. The other thing is, and you might have covered this, I might have missed it, but I saw on your updates on your Facebook page about how whenever you select certain things, it automatically sets a follow-up time period. Are there different ones for different things that you select, or how does that work?
When you log an invite, this is a new thing that I had them put in for me because people were forgetting to they'd invite and forget to put them on their follow-ups list. So
right, because we do a lot of online events. That's why I was asking that.
Right. So it'll automatically put them on for 2 days from now if you don't change it. You can change it to anything though. One day you can put it anywhere on the calendar where you want your follow-up. That's just kind of a fail-safe. So as far as people always ask me like, what is your system? Is it 1, 2, whatever? And so I kind of just went with my gut. But I will tell you this: if you have somebody who's got a strong level of interest and you've had a really good conversation with them. By the way, I didn't talk about this in the training in the Power Hour, but I highly recommend that if somebody's starting to show interest, you try to get them on a Zoom or a phone call right then and there instead of continuing to message them. Okay, so when you can do that, get them on, because then you can really talk to them. Zoom is the best because you can see their face. But if I find somebody that's very interested and I'm giving them a great, like an invitation to, let's say, a virtual event where they have an opportunity to join the business, for example, I would follow up every day for at least 3 days. That's what I would do, because when they're very interested, they're most likely to purchase in those first 3 days. Okay. So I would follow up like every day for 3 days, and then I would start backing it off. And what I found is that people are more likely to either do it right away or down the road. So it's like, you got to go for that first one. And again, using those relational scripts are not annoying. It's just you're showing that you're interested in caring. And then, if they don't respond in those first 3, then you start backing it off and you just settle into doing your 10 follow-ups. Does it make sense? So that's what I recommend. Now, if your invite is weak, in other words, they weren't really that interested. They might not even be interested at all, but you went for the invite anyways. That's different. And that's where they may be you may be annoying when you're following up a lot. Does that make sense? So your goal, you will get better at this as you do it, as you practice it, as you have conversations. Okay. So some of you are like, wow, he says stuff that's so natural. I've been teaching this for 15 years. And so it's easier for me, but you will get better at it as you go. But your goal is to get good at those conversations so you get really strong invites, not weak invites. Does it make sense? Because what you do, and this is kind of like what Lori was asking me about, what we're traditionally taught is invite everybody. And so a lot of people are like, no. And then you have to rebuild trust with them, as opposed to just having conversations with people, figuring out who's got some interest and going deep with those. You get the same amount of people saying yes, but they're strong. They're strong leads. And the people who you didn't alienate everybody else, so they're still on the path. Make sense? So hopefully that makes sense. I know it's a little bit of a different philosophy, this relationship marketing thing, but you'll find it's really fun. And it's easier to, how many of you guys seriously were really uncomfortable with like the whole go for no thing? Let's just be honest. They won't get in trouble, right, AJ, for raising their hands? Look, most people are. I've talked to the top trainers in this industry and it's like 2%.
Well, it's about doing it the right way. There's a right and a wrong way. You have to reach out to people to get it going. So there's a right and wrong way. Absolutely.
But I'm saying this is something that they can duplicate. People will do this. You'll get people on your team that will actually be able to reach out to people. The relationship marketing way, you'll be able to duplicate it with more people. And you'll still get a few people who can go crush it the other way and do great. But they're going to be, a couple people here and there, if that makes sense. So does anyone else have more questions on it? Okay, real quick, 30-day free trial, Teamzy.com. Go do it for free. Try it out for 30 days. Go for it. Those of you guys who are seriously, this is just a little side hustle, a little extra money thing. I want you to take the next 30 days and pretend that you are planning on being the number one person in this business and crush it for 30 days. Okay? Just do it for 30 days, crush it. Get a success partner, somebody on the team that you like. Say, let's do it together. Hold each other accountable. Message each other that screenshot of your Teamzy page completed each day. Hold each other, 30 days, crush it. See how much momentum you can create in 30 days. Okay, some of you guys will surprise yourself and decide, I'm going to run with this thing. Okay, some of you might decide you don't want to do it, but here's the thing. Just go do that for free. Enjoy it. And then what I hope is that a chunk of you guys will join our Teamzy family. We'll be so excited to have you and be along on the journey with you. Sound good?
Someone just asked if we can import Instagram people too.
Instagram does not give you an export like Facebook does. So you can't like get a list from Instagram. What I recommend doing is as you're engaging with people on Instagram, just add them in as you go. There are apps out there, if you Google it, that will scrape your Instagram list for $10 or whatever. They'll give you a list from Instagram. So you have to decide, do you want everyone that follows you on Instagram in Teamzy? Or would you rather go through and find the ones that are actually, interacting with you? So
honestly, whenever I first downloaded Teamzy, I did that. I got all of my followers over and it was so overwhelming to see like 10,000 contacts in there that I almost didn't even start because I was so overwhelmed. So I got rid of that account, redid it, and now it's more like, intentional adding people in.
Yeah, I mean, if your goal is like meet 5 people on Instagram a day and add them to Teamzy, that's something that you can do and manage and not get too overwhelmed with it. The truth is there's only so many relationships that you can do, I think, and manage, even if everyone's a 3-star. So you don't want to overdo it. You want to go deeper. And here's the other thing I want you guys to understand is the people that already know and trust you are the best people to connect with first, even if you if you think it's more comfortable meeting new people online and stuff, make sure that you've got those people that know and trust you ranked higher so they come up more often. Make sense? Okay. Any other questions? Let's take one more. If you've got one more question, I'll take it, and then I'll bless you and send you guys on your way.
Everyone's asking how much it's going to be after the 30-day trial. I know there's a yearly and a monthly option.
Thank you. Thank you. Where are we asking this? In the chat?
Yes.
Okay. So after the 30-day free trial, it's $29.99 a month. Okay. So it's $1 a day, basically, to have your assistant and your program planned for you. You can also do an annual program. If you want to do 12 months at a time, you save $60 a year that way. So it saves you a couple months for free that way. So either way, wherever you feel more comfortable, you can start monthly and you can upgrade that to an annual at any time. So once you've fallen in love and you want to save some money, you do the annual. Make sense? Also want to let you guys know, as you're going in and setting up, if you run into any problems, if you get challenged, if you're like me and technology sometimes freaks you out, there's a help button that floats around on the bottom right of Teamzy. You just click it and send us a message. The team will respond and help you through it. Okay, we've done it with everybody. So that's cool. And I don't know what your back office is like, AJ. So if you or anyone on the team wants to spend 15 minutes with us on a Zoom and show it to us, we can actually get the instructions on how to get those files and put them into the Teamzy Help Center for everyone in the network. So that's one of the things we can do too, just to make it easier, because some people don't know how to go find all that stuff.
Perfect.
So thank you so much for having me. It was a lot of fun. It was great to meet you guys. I'm excited for you guys. I'm excited to have you as part of our family. It's so great to add a great new company like you guys to us. And I just want to say God bless you and have a great night. And I will send you, AJ, the link probably later tonight. Thank you, guys.